set?
Okay.
I'm ready, sir.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Call this meeting of the city council to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Niles.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Randall.
Here.
Lars.
Here.
Tully.
Here.
Young.
Aye.
Teeter. Fire. Here.
Thank you. At this time, we'll entertain public comment. We invite the public to make comments on anything. You can have up to 3 minutes. And please state your name and address for the record and reason for appearing. If you wouldn't mind coming up to the podium, we'll probably all be able to hear you a little better.
Yeah. Larry Wagner, Stevens Avenue, Jefferson. I was wondering what's going on with East Greenwood Street, known as McMahon's Hill. I come to the city and asked them if they sold the street to the people or whatever was going on. They got a sign, no trespassing, no soliciting, dog on premise, enter at your own risk, dog may bite, private property. As far as I know,
Can I see that picture?
it's a public street. It's a public street, and well, people walk up and down, the kids go sledding down it in the summer, winter time, and they got no right saying it's theirs. Can I come up?
Sure.
Did you speak with someone at the city?
Yeah, I asked if they sold it to if the property owners bought it from the city or something.
Do you know who you spoke with?
Just somebody in the city, just the clerk.
Okay, okay.
But they went in back offices and talked it over and stuff. And told me I had to go to the police.
This is your neighbor that posted this?
It's not my neighbor, but it's on McMahon's Hill.
Okay.
And here's the property line, there's the street, so, and there's their garage, which their deck is built way over on the public street.
Yeah, it's public right away.
So I guess my point being is, what right do they have to post some signs and stop people from walking through there? And they got their junk cars parked all on top of the hill there. They got 3.5 acres of their own to park their cars on. So.
You don't know the address by chance, do you?
349 East Greenwood Street, send the bill to Helenville. So I don't know if they live there full time or not.
Oh.
But
See where they got their cars.
if they got a dog that might bite, you think they'd have to keep it chained up or fenced in. And if they have a dog license for it, like I said, police officers went over there and all they did was, the sign was hanging on the public street sign, which is against the law. So they moved it, but I just drove up there and it's bad. Now it's next to the city street.
If you leave me your phone number, I'll go out and take a look at it tomorrow and give you a call back.
Fine. I mean, am I wrong for
No.
being upset?
No, I think it's public right away. Yeah.
It's similar to that guy that claimed he owned the alley,
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
but we, big result.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing you're not familiar with any.
This is the first time I've heard of it. I
Okay.
would be
Okay.
interested when the initial report
Well,
came in.
the officer did go up there because
When did you make that initial report?
a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I didn't see it in the paper that they went to the house or not, but I noticed the sign was moved off the public sign, and then they did post another sign at the bottom of the hill. So somebody had to talk to them.
We'll look at it, I will call you tomorrow.
Fine.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm sorry, this is a repeat from last time. I was at the regulatory committee. Again, my name is Emmy Reiner. I am a Madison, Wisconsin resident, but I do represent Jefferson County residents through the Jefferson County Drug-Free Coalition as a coordinator. And I've been a Jefferson County public health nurse for a number of years. I also have my master's in public health, and I wanted to comment today on the consent agenda, which is related to the licenses that you're granting to businesses. It essentially allows gas stations, I believe, to sell intoxicating liquor and become sort of like liquor stores, I guess you could say. I believe this is a public health and safety issue, which is why I'm commenting about it. And as I was telling the regulatory committee, alcohol outlet density is associated with a lot of health and safety issues, such as the rate of alcohol consumption among people, crime in the community, and underage drinking. And way back when, you know, there was a reason why we did not want gas stations to sell alcohol. And the reason is that it spurs people to buy alcohol spontaneously and then drink and drive, which increases likelihood of people getting into crashes and injuring people and drivers and such. We also know that increasing alcohol availability in our community also does increase underage drinking as well. And the Jefferson County Drug Free Coalition, and I believe the people in the community really do not want people to buy or be sold alcoholic beverages when they're underage. So we do work very hard on that, and as I told the regulatory committee, our coalition for the first time has started to conduct alcohol purchase surveys where we send in young people who are 21 and older to go into their businesses here to see if the clerks are checking ID at that time. And in September, we had 3 businesses out of the 7 here in the city of Jefferson where the clerk did not check ID and would have offered the sale. The second time we did the surveys was in April, and we had 2 out of 7 businesses in the city of Jefferson that didn't check ID for our young adults when they were attempting to purchase alcohol. The 2 stores that passed both of those times were Speedway and Piggly Wiggly. So we did have 5 different businesses that didn't, their clerks at that point in time did not check ID and would have sold alcohol to a young adult who, they were wearing masks, but I just wanted to let you know that we do have potentially some issues with carding and that increasing some of these, licenses to, expanding them to sell more alcohol could be a potential concern. So I'd be happy to share information about our alcohol purchase surveys and share some more data that I have related to alcohol outlet densities and the cost of binge drinking and over alcohol consumption in our community. There's a financial cost as well as just healthcare related costs as well. So that is all information that is available to the public, but I'd be happy to share that with you. But one way that your group can promote health and promote safety of our community is to place licensing conditions on these license holders. You can restrict alcohol advertising, you can restrict placement of the products and such so that you can prevent illegal sales of alcohol, you can prevent overconsumption and misuse in general. So I'd be happy to provide any information if you're willing to get that in the future when making your decision. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else?
Yeah, I would just like to congratulate and thank the American Legion and the VFW and their auxiliaries for their Memorial Day program this year. I thought it went very well, and I know we kind of expect that every year. But I did want to mention 3 individuals who also step out of that aren't Legion VFW or auxiliaries, who play an important part, and one of them is Mayor Dale Opperman. When the person who had agreed to sing the national anthem didn't show up for the program on Monday, Mayor Dale stepped up and took over and led the national anthem, so I thought that was a pretty good thing. I'd also like to thank Jason Kaler, if you know Jason. Jason is responsible for putting the flags out on the streets. He's not a member, he just does it because he's a nice guy. And he uses his own truck, his own gasoline, and his own time to do those things, and makes it possible for us to have that, which is great. And I'd also like to thank my public back there, Mr. Bill Mino, who, as most of you probably know, is our taps player extraordinaire, and every veteran funeral during the year, he is the one who volunteers to play taps. He played taps at the program on Monday like he always does. And I don't think those guys ever get credit for what they do. We don't realize it. So I would just like to mention their names. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
And thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Gil.
Appreciate everyone's efforts. Moving on to resolution to number 13, tonight's consent agenda. Alderwoman Byer, please.
Honorable Mayor, council members, and citizens, City of Jefferson, Resolution number 13, be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, that the consent agenda for June 1st, 2001 is hereby adopted. Vouchers payable for June 2021 in the amounts of $391,062. Payroll summary for May 21st, 2021 in the amounts of $160,556. Council minutes from May 18, 2021 for the amounts of, for the Common Council, licenses as approved by the Regulatory Committee, operator's license, alcohol, beverage license, cigarette license, and sales of goods in the right-of-way for the Council of the Performing Arts. Brought Fry, I would so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
We just had a little discrepancy between the amounts here. Vouchers payable for $398,652. Is that what you did?
That's what mine says, $398,652.
Okay.
Is that right?
And then the other one, and the payroll summary is $160,526.36.
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's been moved and seconded. Second, you get the second.
I did. Alderman Myers.
Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye as your name is called. No if you're opposed, or abstain if you need to for the minutes.
Alderman Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Young.
Aye, but I abstain from the minutes.
Teeter. Aye. Fire. Aye. Miles. Aye.
It's unanimous with one abstention for the minutes. Resolution number 14, a resolution authorizing the execution of the Department of Natural Resources Principal Forgiven Financial Assistance Agreement. Alderman Brandel, please.
Honorable Mayor Opperman, fellow council members, citizens of Jefferson. City of Jefferson Resolution number 14. Whereas the City of Jefferson, the municipality, wishes to undertake a project to replace private lead service lines as residents, pre-K-12 schools, and licensed and/or certified daycare centers identified as DNR number 5463-04, parents the project, and whereas the municipality has applied to the Safe Drinking Water Loan Program, the SDWLP, for financial assistance in the form of a loan made by the SDWLP to the municipality, of which all the principal will be forgiven at the time that loan disbursements are made to the municipality pursuant to the DNR Financial Assistance Agreement. And whereas the SDWLP has determined that it can provide a loan with principal forgiveness in an amount up to $275,000 that it has identified as being eligible for SDWLP funding, now therefore the city administrator is authorized by and on behalf of the municipality to execute the principal forgiven financial assistance agreement that contains the terms and conditions of the SDWLP award for the project. The principal forgiven financial assistance agreement is incorporated herein by this reference. I would so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Miller. Any discussion? This was discussed at the committee of the whole, but I'll just ask Todd to reiterate for those in the audience or watching at home.
This is a program where we can offer the homeowners 100% coverage from their curb stop to their house for their water service if it's made of lead. one of the stipulations is the city side has to be replaced also and not be of lead material. And we're working on replacing those services as well throughout the city to make sure everybody will be eligible for this in the next few years, hopefully, that they would be eligible to replace this. It's a great program, no cost to the city and no cost to the homeowners.
It's a very valuable service, and as I think you pointed out, this is the third round of funding that the city has applied for and successfully received. So look forward to it. Does anyone have any questions of Todd? If not, we'll call the question. All in favor of resolution number 14, please signify by saying aye as your name is called and know if you're opposed.
Alderman Brandel.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Teeter.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Niles.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Resolution number 15, a resolution approving the award of a contract for sanitary sewer intercept. Alderman Miller, please.
Thank you, Mayor, fellow council members, and citizens. City of Jefferson, Resolution Number 15. Whereas the Jefferson Water and Wastewater Utility obtained 5 bids from contractors for construction and replacement of the sanitary sewer interceptor located between West Milwaukee and West Wilcox Street along the Union Pacific Railroad corridor, with BKS Excavating Incorporated being the low bidder. And whereas the Finance Committee has reviewed the bids and concurs with the recommendation of the Water Wastewater Utility Director and Town and Country Engineering to award the project to BKS Excavating Incorporated, and recommends the same to the Common Council. And now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, that herein awards the Railroad Corridor Sanitary Sewer Interceptor Improvements Project to BKS Excavating Incorporated, contingent upon all right-of-way access agreements and any other related agreements have been finalized between the City of Jefferson and the Union Pacific Railroad, and project financing from the sale of sewer revenue bonds has been completed. And be it further resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson that the city administrator is herein authorized and directed to execute any contract or document associated with the above action on behalf of the City of Jefferson following its review by the city attorney. I so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Tully. And discussion? Any questions or comments?
This was approved unanimously at Finance.
Thank you. No other questions or comments? All right, all in favor of approval of resolution number 15, please signify by saying aye. As your name is called, know if you're opposed.
Alderman Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Teeter.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Niles.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Brandel.
Aye.
It's unanimous, thank you. Resolution number 16, a resolution authorizing the downtown streetscape design professional services contract. Alderman Tully, please.
Thank you, Mayor. City of Jefferson, Resolution Number 16, authorizing downtown streetscape design professional services contract. Whereas the City of Jefferson intends to undertake various streetscape improvements in the downtown portions of the community in 2022, and whereas the contemplated improvements in this area further implement the Jefferson Downtown and Riverfront Redevelopment Area Plan, last updated in 2015 and 2019 Comprehensive Plan. And whereas these improvements will focus on safety improvements and enhanced beautification in the historic Central Business District. And whereas city staff is recommending that Vanderwall & Associates be retained to assist the city with preparation of design concepts for the streetscape improvements. And whereas Vanderwall & Associates has provided the city with a scope of services proposal for a downtown streetscape concept plan at a not-to-exceed cost of $17,000. And whereas the Finance Committee has reviewed the proposal and is recommending approval of the proposal to the Common Council, and has determined that funding for the project has been reserved in the pending year 2020 City of Jefferson Financial Audit of Operations. And now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, that it hereby approves the scope of services proposal with Vanderwall & Associates in a not-to-exceed amount of $17,000 for the preparation of design concepts for streetscape improvement in downtown Jefferson. I would so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Alderman Brandel. Tim, can you give us a synopsis of the scope of services?
I can. I think I'll start by just describing the larger project, and it's a pretty significant improvement It involves both an underground component and an above-ground component. And, I'm sorry, the project involves both an underground and an above-ground component. It's been a project that's been in the works for a rather long time, but a quick description of it is, in terms of the underground component, which is being engineered right now, in April, the Public Service Commission approved the project. The next step in June is there'll be a property owner meeting, so there's probably 50 property owners that have invited to this meeting. But for that portion of the project, the intent is on Riverside Alley to take all the above-ground electrical system, put it underground, but it's really more than just running conduit and stringing lights and taking down poles. You've got to reconnect all the business owners and with new services. Pretty significant project that the utility is undertaking. The limits of the project start at Candy Street, run down the alley to City Hall, and actually even continue over to the former Tyson facility. The goal is to complete the engineering on that project this summer, and then actually that work commencing about August or September. It will continue all the way until June of next year, 2002. That's the first phase of the project. Once the above-ground system has been put underground and the poles and overhead wires taken down, the city will come in and completely repave the alley, some of the other public spaces and parking lots that the city owns, put in new alley streetscape. And then a component of that part of the project is downtown. Our goal is to replace a good portion of the streetscape. So trees, the decorative brick, some of the furniture. I think that was probably last done in the 1990s when probably 26 was done running through town. And a lot of that infrastructure has failed. I'm not quite sure the project estimate for the underground part. On the power side, that's pretty expensive. The above ground part that I just described, you know, will have a price tag, I'm sure, somewhere in the neighborhood of $700,000. And so our goal is to do this work and in the fall of the year engineer the project, bid the project out January or February, let a contract, and then after the utility is done, the end of June of next year, then physically come in and redo the alley and the streetscape improvements. So, you know, fairly significant one, kind of a difficult project, but the proposal that you'll adopt tonight will allow our city planner to go ahead and prepare design concepts for the streetscape improvements that Toby described in the resolution.
Any questions of Tim? Well, it's exciting. It's good to see us making progress here and moving on to the next step in this process. So if there are no other questions or comments, all in favor of resolution number 16, please signify by saying aye as your name is called, no if you're opposed.
Alderman Tully.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Teeter.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Miles.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
It's unanimous, thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Mr. Lars, second by Mrs. Byer. On the voice vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. They're adjourned. Good evening. Careful.